I need to do to help you get to this next level?
I feel like you can put me northeast, southwest. As I was saying, I was like, I don't know my answer, so I need to think. No, I was like,
Welcome to C2C podcast, where we touch on and break down elements of creativity in its many forms. I'm your host, Birthday Boy.
There's Murphy.
There's Murphy. Yes, sir. Wow.
I thought I was so confident.
You were confident.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You didn't have to turn it down, but all right.
Yeah. Well, my ears. My ears, their ears. Who knows?
Yeah.
You about 30.
Yep. Right. Nope. Not about. We're just gonna keep it at. I'm in my 20s still.
You ever heard the rounding rap?
No.
Find the place value and circle that.
Oh, yes, I have.
Move to the right and on the line. Get it. This nigga 30. Nope. 3 ball. 3-0.
Yep. Nope. I'm 28. We're going to keep it at that.
Yep.
If you can't tell, we're both slumped because we've had a long day. We've had a long one.
I stress out through people. Your phone.
Has to be your phone.
Mine's in my pocket.
Amber's phone. That she'll be coming back for. I'll be here in the knock. Y'all probably get to see my wife.
Oh, what a day.
Yeah, it's been one of them things.
I have been here for
since what, 4 or something?
3 at least 3:30.
Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Darius was here prior to me.
Yep, I told you my wife would be coming back.
You don't have to sneak. You might as well just wave
say
at them or
hello
something.
to the people. No, you got to cut stuff over here. All right, she looks a mess. You are.
Yeah.
You are.
You really don't have to whisper.
You don't have to whisper. You didn't. We already knew you were coming back. What? Yeah, this will be part of it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for supporting our business. You guys want to try to chat. This is nothing but fun.
No, we're not.
We're not spawned. Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Unless we want.
Well,
unless,
I mean,
unless you guys want to, yeah.
We got LeBron's book. We got Prime.
Yeah, we're all over the place today.
Fossil. I don't know. You might as well get your Nike cap and we can match.
Can you throw me that? The hat. She's about to throw me the cakes.
What is today? Today is stressful. The systems ain't working.
Everybody say hello and
Happy
happy birthday
birthday to
Yes,
you.
Nope,
Happy
click the
birthday
right one.
to you. Happy birthday, dear. Fill in the blank. Happy birthday to you. I don't know if you want to use your government or your alias or your, what's the other word?
Create, what other word?
There's another word for an alias. What is it?
It's called AKA, also known as.
All right. Well,
That's not what I'm looking for. Monarch. No. Moniker. Right?
that sounds too close to.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm a little educated nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go to college a little bit.
All right. Well, today, as you can tell, we're kind of all over the place, but we have a topic.
We supposed to be perfect. Like I don't know. We don't have a topic.
We do kind of. We have a general idea talking about creatives and us going through our troubleshooting as we did all day today.
Yeah.
Figuring out problems.
Yeah.
What goes on in your brain processing issues that occur? Like, what is your first initial, like, yeah, let me bop you in the mouth real quick.
You trying to wake me up?
Hey, you ain't looking at me.
I'm over here looking like,
you ain't looking at me.
It's a nice watch.
You ain't looking. but something's not really yours. He's like, boy, this is nice.
It's a nice. We got, I
You
guess
can't stop
finders,
looking at it.
I guess finders keepers. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's what she
All
said.
right, so this man's girlfriend found this watch.
It's a fossil watch
On the street. And
She literally found it
just
on the
gave
road.
Yeah, she just gave it to him.
She whipped around the corner to my house. She said she drove over
She
it.
probably jumped somebody.
She said she drove over it, got out the car, was like, huh, Isaiah would like that.
Got a box from Walmart, put it in there.
I would have been like, why is it so scuffed? This thing's beat to hell. But it's a Fossil. Y'all don't know. Fossil's like, there's like Rolex, there's AP, Fossil. It's actually not even remotely close.
No, I was gonna let you go with it too.
No, I gave up.
Yep.
What are we talking about, man? Troubleshooting. You said what goes through my brain.
Yeah, but whenever you're in the process, like you're doing something or you're getting ready to do something, and bam, an issue pops up. What's going through your mind initially?
It depends. It depends what it is. Like if it's this stuff where it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
what's the IP address? What's the gateway network? What's the
All that.
and the systems ain't connecting to the same system, and then you can't find the router.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it's about quitting time. It's time to call a professional.
So were you ready to check out?
You see, I didn't help you.
You did.
So
I was in here stressing by myself.
No, I was stressing with you.
No, I was stressed.
And it's hot. There's no AC.
It is hot.
So you got to troubleshoot the AC. Got to troubleshoot the two cameras. Got to troubleshoot the cords. Got to troubleshoot the formatting. Got to troubleshoot
formatting the cars, all that stuff, and it wouldn't format for whatever reason. We finally got it though.
Yeah, but hey, this watch works. So that's about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what goes through your mind? Because I'm just.
I don't know. I think I've gotten to a point to where it's not like I expect issues to happen, but they don't. They don't surprise me. Like especially being in the field that I'm in, as far as like tech stuff and cameras, audio, all that stuff. Especially whenever you have like a whole bunch of moving parts, it's like something is bound to happen to where it's like, okay, I got to step in and fix this or pay attention to that. What frustrates me the most is when there's issues and like it's simple,
right?
But you can't like fix that junk, like you can't figure it out. Like what the heck is this,
right?
And so
those
are that's what really happens to me. So initially the issue happens and I'm like, all right, bet, I'm on it. Let's figure it out. Like I don't freak out. I don't go into this panic mode. I'm like, bam, we got to figure it out. Let's try to get on top of it. Then that moves to frustration whenever I cannot figure it out, especially when I know it's something simple.
Simple like a plate that goes on a camera.
Yeah.
And the camera connects to a tripod.
Yeah. The plate. I will talk about that later.
And then it just don't fit any
it don't
tripod.
fit.
So you throw a camera.
Or as simple as formatting a card.
So you throw a camera on a light
on a
tripod.
light pole. Yeah, on a light.
Yeah.
It's just been one of them days.
Yeah, my shoelaces are. I don't know if y'all can see this. You see how dingy those are? I don't know if the camera can see that. That's grimy.
In comparison.
All right, you didn't have to do all that. That's so crazy.
That is wild. I shouldn't have did that.
That's okay. This watch is nice though.
This Fossil watch is nice.
This Fossil is nice. Pretty much. I mean, I don't get anything from myself. These shoes we got together. Socks she got me. Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, I could walk around with holes in my drawers and I'd be hype. So, I mean, maybe I got to grow out of that. I don't know. I don't know. That's troubleshooting my clothes, I guess.
Troubleshooting in my clothes.
I have no idea.
So with you, are there audio things? Because I know predominantly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Are there audio things that where you get to a certain point where like all right, I'm done. Like this, or this is too much, or I'm too frustrated to even think right now. Are there issues in the area of audio that, make you feel that way?
No, not with my own stuff.
I'm going to try this Prime.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Hopefully you get sponsored. Hopefully we can be with Adesanya. Adesanya and
Logan?
Yes, KSI, but Adesanya and his this guy. No offense to
other guy.
Fill in the blank in the comments, guys. I have no energy.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now. Drained.
Yeah. With audio, when it comes to my own stuff, I don't really get frustrated because I don't have issues with my own stuff because it's done correctly.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
But when I get someone else's projects, there's gain staging that has to be done. People put limiters on things that just like why are we putting it just stuff doesn't make sense. They'll send you a 2-track with a limiter and you're like, oh, enhance the instrumental. And you're like, well, can't really because you done chopped off. Like, bro, like what are we doing? Like what are we doing? I'll say this, troubleshooting. What do you call those? Not freelancers, but not professionals. Like troubleshooting after someone who doesn't do it professionally.
Yeah, no, I get that. And
it'll make my balls itch. I'm trying to tell you.
It makes it worse whenever, and harder whenever people have done it for so long that they feel like they know. Right. And then a professional walks in and they're like, okay, you need to adjust this. And then just combating their idea of what is actually good and what is not. And I've run across that a few times, especially with video product. And then I've run across professionals that have led people on to believe that they're professionals.
And they're quite opposite.
They're quite the opposite. It's like, the lingo, all that, but it just doesn't connect with the actual product that's being produced. And I get frustrated in those times. And then having to do work with or after those individuals, it just makes it a lot more difficult, especially when you're dealing with the client and that individual has expressed so much to this client of yours now that just feeding them all this information that could be true, sometimes not, a lot of times not, but then you're there and then they're just like, well, no, this person said this, and I'm just like, well, maybe you should just stick with this person then.
Maybe they don't know what they're talking about.
100%.
Which I'm glad you kind of walked us into these questions that I had wrote 3 years ago. Well, December 31st, 2019. How is leadership viewed in your eyes? Like what makes a great leader? What classifies a bad leader?
Yeah, so I think everyone is a leader. I think.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this.
I think you're leading somebody to do something, no matter who you are and what you're doing. Now, there are those other leaders. You have those leaders of leaders or leaders of individuals that.
Was that a duck? Okay. That threw me all the way off.
I was clearing my teeth.
Okay. Leaders of leaders.
Yeah, then you have the leaders. I think there's just different levels of it. And so in my eyes, a good leader is someone who carries the heart for individuals that have a gift in an area and want to see them propel and go to each necessary level in their walk of whatever their gifting is or whatever they're being led in. And so that's a good leader. A good leader is somebody that's going to get behind you and push you forward. Where you have a bad leader who would function more in the area of like a dictator and saying, do this because I said so. And one thing I really appreciate about leadership and authority in my life is they've helped me identify the fact that it's better to, and I'm in a phase of it right now, especially with DLC. It's just like, we had a conversation yesterday with, I had a conversation with some of the leaders there in this area of leadership, and it's growing into, so a good leader is someone who has been along this journey of leadership. So like they're growing into who they are, and they've got to a certain extent to where they can now help other people get to a certain point or lead somebody else to another point. And so growing into something, and then everyone else identifying that in that person. So like it should be common sense whenever someone says, well, this person is the leader of this, or he's the lead of this production, or it shouldn't be like, oh, you didn't even have to tell me. I already knew that this person was this because of who they are, how they're walking, they're not, saying do this, do that, and all this other stuff. Like they're legitly saying like, hey, what do I need to do to help you get to this next level? Or here are the tools for you to get to this next level. Where you have the bad leaders that are just like, why aren't you there? You're supposed to be there. Like, get to this point and hurry up and all this other stuff, or you're out of here type of thing. It's just like, that's not leading. That's you're just barking orders to somebody and wanting them to be something that they may not be currently. Yeah. They may not be at the place that you're expecting them to be. But as a good leader, you are supposed to help them be developed in that. And some people have patience for it and some people don't, as I've seen and experienced in my life. And so luckily I'm surrounded by leaders that are growing themselves and have the patience to walk with and help others grow as well. So what are your thoughts?
What is a good
and bad leader?
How do I view leadership? What is a good or bad leader? Yeah. Yeah, my thoughts are all over the place because I know conversations that we've had recently. It's easier for me to point out someone. It's easy for me to point at what someone is doing and saying that's not good. I am trying to learn things in certain areas and how to look at them from the other side of the coin and say, hey, those are good. But there are certain things that people have that if they do it wrong, it outweighs all things that you have done good. Or like if you okay, we'll take a Hitler, for example. Everyone loves using Hitler as like he had to have been a great leader because he got a whole bunch of people to do a crazy thing. So does that make him not a good leader, or does that make him a good leader? I would say, well, I think that's a bad leader.
I don't know.
His ability to lead is good.
But him as being a leader himself as a person.
Flawed.
Yeah.
And when that's flawed in my eyes, I think you need to
take
a step back.
So are we talking like moral wise? Or are we talking like just because, and this might be a topic that's way too touchy, but I
can censor myself around it.
Yeah. I can remember a book that I was reading, and it was in leadership. I wish I remembered the book that it was, or else I would let you guys know what it was. But
spiritual leadership?
No,
it wasn't about spiritual leadership.
It was a book that we read in our leadership, and so like Kendrick it was one of those list of books. But I can't think of what it is. But they mentioned Hitler. They're like, he was a great leader. Like he was a good leader. Now his morals were wrong, but him as a leader was good just because he was able to get people and push an idea and then push them behind and help propel them and push them into another level that they weren't previously at. And so taking a whole people group and pushing them forward and establishing dominance in that area while it's just a crazy ideology that goes behind that. But and it makes me feel weird even talking about it because like to say that someone like that is a great leader, which if we were talking about just
the ability alone.
Yeah, the ability alone, then he would fall under that category. But morally, if we're adding that aspect to it and saying that is also what's going to help determine what a good leader is, then that's what would put him under the he ain't it.
Yeah. I think he had strong I won't say great. He had strong leadership abilities, but I think overall he was an even better manipulator. And I think those can easily be confused.
for sure.
But then again, I'm not no professor that wrote a 38-page book
on leadership.
Only
38 pages, huh?
Did I say 38? The number in I literally said 360 in my head. So that's great. Whatever.
30.
I'm still not writing 38 pages of anything.
Only 38 pages.
That's a lot of time.
I'll read that book.
Those are just the highlighted points. Spark notes. Yeah, but I think you can't say someone is a good leader without asking the people who he leads. So I guess you would do the same thing. So asking Hitler, you're already going to be like, okay, yeah, he commands a great amount.
Yeah.
Must be good because he's doing things. But if you ask the people below him, like, hey, is he taking care of you? Is he actually worried about the mission more or people more?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
But then I don't know where those lines
for sure.
get mixed.
I get it.
But I guess it depends. Like, if you're thinking worldly, yeah. No, well, I don't know. I think principle is a principle. A principle is a principle. A truth's a truth.
Yeah.
Regardless. Yeah. I don't think you can separate leadership without the people that serve underneath the leadership. And what they say is more important than what he does. In my head. In my head.
I like that.
But I don't know. So what makes a bad leader is all the flaws that the people that serve say. What makes a good leader is all the good that the people that serve
So would you say the flaws in the people serving or helping or being led, the flaws in the people that are being led are a reflection of the leadership?
Not always, because you have to leave room for people being people.
Sure.
But culture, mindset wise, absolutely.
This would be
absolutely.
Maybe we could hit up like Dan or something, or Kendrick.
I don't know if Dan would have. Maybe. Yeah, he'd be off right now. I don't know if he'd want to.
Let me call Kendrick.
Good old Kenny boy. Yeah. But then what was the other question I had? Oh, how do you determine when someone is ready to lead?
Ooh.
It's a really good question.
Oh.
2019, Isaiah was on it.
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you determine when someone is ready to lead?
Yeah. In the church.
I'm gonna say in general. Both church. Well, I'm gonna say in general as a leader in general. That's tough, man. I was literally about to say what I would normally say to a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna still say it. But I think there's a lot more that goes into it than this. But I'm gonna say fruit. So fruit of that individual, and then I don't think again. I think a lot of it ties into the people recognizing that person as a leader. So like I don't have to establish a leader. Now that I guess that is tailors the line or what it treads the line of like a ministry versus like business and all this other stuff. Because I don't know. In a business, like like I could apply for a leadership job. Like I can apply to be a manager of a store or I can apply to be, whatever. But what's up? No, you're good. You're good. Okay. I got you. That would have been a good question for him. I was just thinking about it. But an individual taking a place, let's say at the dollar store or whatever. I'm manager of the dollar store. Okay. What makes that manager a good leader? We'll say Quick Trip in your case. What makes that manager a good leader? What was the question?
How How do you determine when someone is ready?
Is ready to lead. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was going in the right direction. So, yeah. So in the corporate world, you have a resume.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know. Like me personally, if somebody came in with their resume and was like, and we were hiring, let's say we were hiring in a position.
Yeah.
I don't care about your resume.
I want to see your portfolio.
Yeah. Give me your portfolio. Give me your work.
I
want to know the trail of people that you led
Yeah.
previous to, you coming here. Why were you let go of, or why did you leave your other job? Why were you let go? Whatever the case was.
Yeah.
Like more personable versus me saying, here's the statistics of this, and this is, you should, just by looking at this, you should be able to see.
I was the lead plumber for all of Baker Hughes in the Claremore region. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So like instantly you can be a manager at McDonald's.
Yeah. It's just and so it just treads a line. So in my personal life, I look at it like, even with my kids, I'm like, okay, I'm always trying to identify who's leading, who's the leader, who's going to be leading in this. And they lead in different areas. So like in sports, one will lead in schoolwork, one will, take lead and help and all this other stuff. In actual house chores and tasks, somebody, Leo normally takes the lead in that. And so I'm always looking, but who overall would be the leader is really, for me personally, it's built off of, number one, it's built over time. And then I have to trust you as a leader. Mm-hmm. Even if I am myself a leader, in order for me to or to identify you and acknowledge you as a leader, I have to see fruit of that. I have to see fruit of your leadership. Do you have leadership capabilities? Do you buckle under pressure whenever things are going, bad? Are you pointing the finger at someone else, or do you take responsibility because you're in a place to where people are really looking at you, but you're kind of like, oh, well, this person and this person and this person. It's just like I look at all those things, all those aspects, and so that's really how I see it. That's how I see it. And there might be flaws in that thinking as well, but I just don't see any other way. And I might grow into it eventually, but I just don't see any other way to identify it or have people say like, I am a leader. Like this is
how would I determine when someone is ready to lead? So I think. I think like you were saying, the corporate world kind of makes it murky.
Yeah.
Because you hire based off of hearsay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know a couple of people that have lied on a resume and now they're working a job, whether they're doing the job to the fullest capacity that the employer was wanting. I don't know. But I know that they got the job because they lied, and they're still there, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah, man, there has to be a level of trust with that type of stuff. Like I am a trusting person to a degree, especially when I don't know you. But to say yes, I want you in this position based off of this paper is wild.
yeah, I don't know. But then when it comes to like people that you've been around, you start a business with, you're on a team with.
Yeah.
How do you determine the leader? So how, like, I know, at least for a team, the coach is usually like this person, but then again, it's also like what your peers say.
Yeah.
Or like who your peers are drawn to. Like in the
that's really good.
In like the master class that we had for that business.
Yeah.
How it was like the 5 people in the room and they're drawing the lines to each person that was talking, and whoever all the lines go to the most is the leader. I think it's the same way. I love that, yeah. I think it's the same way, but from my experience within the church body that I've been a part of is not that. I feel so far what I've experienced is which isn't a lot, but I feel like it's more so God will make room for you somewhere. We don't have to. Like someone is either going to fall out or you must not be needed here because we don't have a room, a position, a place or whatever. Like we don't need to accommodate that if we have everything that we think is already needed and it's already met or there's already a person in place.
I think with that, I think there could be another level to it. So I'm think,
sure.
Yeah. So I think that there can also be like, let's say someone's trying to be in the position of, well, taking aspects of that we know. Someone's trying to be a director of media and media productions. And I come in or let's say I'm trying to be a media production director or whatever. Someone's already there in that position.
I'm getting sweaty.
So I know. So it's like, what do I do? Then do I move on?
Right.
Is that like is that like God saying, okay, this is your place? Right. Or
and you're not asking for it.
Yeah. Right. And so what I've come to realize is especially those who I'm connected with. So like if I feel genuinely that I'm connected to a group of people, then if I had the ideology of like, if this position in this place is taken, then I am no longer needed
or valuable.
Yeah. If I had that perspective, then I would dry up and die.
100%.
But I have a perspective of this person's in this place, and I'll even reverse that. Not this person is in this place. This person is being themselves and who they are in this position. Sometimes not, but in this case, this person is being this person themselves in this position, and I have something way different to offer. Even though the same thing is, we're both functioning or acting in the same way. We are totally different. We have way more to offer. Differences as far as differences are concerned. Like what you have to offer is this. That's great. Let me add a whole nother aspect to that.
Right. Not remove everything that you've done.
Not remove everything,
but build onto.
Let me build onto, compliment you, all that. Let me help make this thing.
Compliment's the best word.
Yeah, let me help make this thing look even better than it did before. Not because of me, but because of our work together.
Yeah.
And so I really think that is really a key, especially when you have two leaders that are coming together into a place. And I'm a big person in general and like not overstepping, I'm a laid back person anyways. And so whenever there are complications in that, the only time I might feel a certain type of way is if, we have a collective group who may have identified me or someone else as, I already know that you're the go-to person or whatever. And then it not being moved forward, if that makes sense. Like that process not okay. So like if and it really just depends on your perspective, because then you have the perspective of placement versus
position.
So position.
Are we using
Yeah. So those two things. It's just a weird dynamic. It's a weird dynamic that can stretch super far. And like I said, I think I'm just now beginning to tread the line or tread the journey of figuring out that type of stuff. Like, and then even figuring out my own heart, like realizing issues in me as a leader, and then being able to humble yourself and be like, okay. This is where I'm at right now.
Yes.
And I need to identify this, and I need to either make adjustments and then move forward, or I need to address somebody and talk to them about it and see where my heart is. And that's what that conversation yesterday did with for me. It kind of clarified some things in my own heart, and I didn't shine the light on some things. I was like, oh, okay. That's in my heart. And I do that intentionally in general. Like whenever I'm talking to people of authority, like I'm like, okay, in this conversation, I know that I am going to, like, especially when it's a deep conversation, I know there's going to be some light shed on some things. So I'm going to be intentional on looking for those things.
Mm.
And any moment of uncomfortability or things to where I could take offense to, I immediately address myself inwardly, and I'm like, okay, what is that? Where is that coming from? Why am I feeling this way? Why? Like, and obviously Daniel Wilson has helped me see stuff like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kendrick also along the way has helped me kind of see those things. But in that meeting yesterday, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, you see your growth potential, you see how far you've come, but then at the same time, you're right there in the middle, like you're here and you're like, okay, so now what do I do? Instead of me saying I should be this far along by now, you're saying, okay, all right, what does it look like for me to move forward from this as a leader? What's the next healthy step for me to take? Addressing it is the first step for sure. Identifying it, and then once you identify it, you have to address it face to face. Accept where you're at, and then move forward. That movement is important.
So there's a handful of things in there.
Yeah.
For viewers that may or may not know, placement and position, those need to be defined.
Okay.
The idea of destination disease, I might brush on that. Might not. But yeah, go ahead and
So
explain the placement and position.
I'll speak on it in terms of mentality. So like if I have a positional mentality, I am qualified. Is that a
Is he doing jump rope?
I know he's probably tapping, hammering something.
Y'all probably didn't hear it.
Yeah, probably not.
But it's
Yeah. It did sound like jump roping. But so yeah, I'll say mentality wise, if I think positionally, I am thinking I qualify for this spot, so I should have this spot or this position. But if I am saying, and we're talking in aspects of of leadership or any place of any kind of authority, placement is, this is who I am. Let me give and build relationship with this individual or this group of people and genuinely help progress whatever is going on. And that way other people are identifying you in your place as is. So there is no, I qualify for this, so I should be here. These are the statistics and this is my resume. It's more like, okay, I know what I have to offer, and I can see potential in wherever this place is, and so I want to give as much as I can to it. Who do I need to talk to in order for me to help push this, whatever. It could be in lack of better terms, it could be the lowest of low people on the what would we call
spectrum?
It? Yeah. No, I don't like spectrum.
Totem pole, pyramid.
I guess pyramid, something like that. On the arc, on the
that's terrible word.
Terrible. I shouldn't have even said it. It could be the lowest of the lows or the highest of the highs in the whole.
That worked beautifully.
And but I just want to be who I am for this group of people, for this individual, whoever it may be. I want to serve, and that's how I do in life in general, whether that's corporate business, whether that's whatever it is. Like, you can take it ministry wise or you can take it corporate wise. For me, it doesn't matter. It's like, I see your business has a need. If we're in the corporate world, I see your business has a need. I have what you need. Let's build relationship, and let's talk, let's connect, let's see where you're at, let's see what you're wanting, and I can just give you myself and tell you what I have to offer. And then once we do that, then I really feel like business is done a lot better when it's in that realm versus saying I have these statistics, kind of like what you were saying with your friend, having all or lying about the resume and still getting the position. And I mean, whether he's there or not.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Google?
Oh. Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you never touched that field.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah. That's a prime. That I mean that things like that is a prime example. It's like it's just weird to function like that, and just I don't know. I mean, Google's doing good, so
yeah, and I think he's moving up in the company.
yeah. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So to tie in with that, do you think that it is? Do you think putting? Do you think it is hazardous to put someone in leadership prematurely?
I think there's pros. I think there's cons.
Prematurely, you think there's pros? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Give me like 2 examples.
I'll use myself as an example. I was thrown into leadership at a very young age.
How old are we talking?
I will say true, genuine leadership, probably around 15, 16.
That's with the team?
That's with the team.
Okay.
And then over the years, that's progressed. And so that's why I say there's a pro. It depends on your maturity. It really depends on the one that everybody, I'm going to rewind after I say this. Everybody needs to have a leader leading them. Whether that is, everyone needs a mentor. Okay. Everyone needs somebody to go to. It doesn't matter how old you are, how wise you are. Everyone needs to have, if you are following someone who does not have that leader, you need to start questioning.
That'd be a little tough.
Yeah. You need to start questioning some things. Why don't you have a leader? Like, because you can't, that's a whole nother thing. Anyways.
Ooh, that just brought me back to the beginning.
What?
Of, like, what makes a leader a good leader? Because if you're head honcho. Then who says what you're doing is good? It's either the only step above head honcho, be the man upstairs. Yeah. But I mean, if you're not in that realm, then I like
everyone needs to have, like I said, whether you're Christian or not, everyone needs to have a leader. Everyone needs to be walking behind somebody, or in lack of better words, the mentor stuff, whatever you want to call it. Everyone needs that aspect in their lives. If not, because number one, you have to be a servant type of thing. You have to be the one growing.
100%. If you've never served, I don't know how you can lead.
How can you lead? Yeah.
I don't know.
How can you?
You won't have the heart for the people.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And so being amongst those who you will potentially be leading, whether that's corporate stuff, whether that's ministry stuff, whatever. And so what was the question?
Premature leadership is hazardous.
And so
pros and cons.
Hazardous. So we went over the pros. I think the pro, and I think I just grazed
I was about
over.
to say, I don't think it's the pros.
So pro wise, I think given the right individual, it can help develop you. But then a con to it would be you lose aspects that you need in seasons. Like you could potentially lose. If I am focused on leadership, like if I'm focused on leadership when really I should be focused on growth in another area or this or whatever, but I'm thrown prematurely into leadership. Yeah. And I don't know how to serve, kind of like what you're saying, then you will always end up going back.
Yeah. Like you're focusing on the accolades or the end goal
100%.
Instead of that would be
journey.
Destination disease.
Yeah.
To some extent. Only seeing and focusing at the end, and you don't care about anything in between.
Yeah.
Or you can't see it. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
It is. So I think those are pros and cons to it. And then
I did a really bad job of explaining that, but it'll be all right.
Who, me?
No, me.
Oh.
No. You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm
fine.
quiet for a reason. My brain's fried. My body's fried, but I got this fossil on, so it's keeping me chill.
But you're giving some good questions. Those are really good questions.
You know what I'm saying? Fossil 35 on my wrist.
I got the
probably 35-degree angle she was turning over it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So yeah, pros and cons. I think another con would be simply being thrown into something that you have no idea. Like you're uncharted territory. Like if one day someone's just like, hey, you are the lead of this, and I'm saying on a very practical level, you're going to be leading this. Having that, and I know people that are in those positions that are like, hey, I'm being thrown into this. I know they have to feel a certain type of way because I felt a certain type of way in seasons. I was just like, God gummit, how do I do this? What do I need to do? And so I can only imagine someone that's being just thrown into it, whether they're willing or they're the ones pressing the matter or not. I can only imagine because you're gonna end up feeling. I say that, and I'm projecting my feelings.
Hey, as long as you can split the two, you're doing good.
I might be
freaking table. If y'all aren't watching the video, y'all aren't gonna understand why there's so many noises.
Yeah,
why we move around a lot.
We're trying to get it right.
Why I freak out all the time, but it'd be all right.
But what was I even? Oh,
dog, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We're talking about people being thrown into something, leadership.
Yeah, the cons.
And so yeah, if you're just thrown straight into that thing, there has to be. I can only imagine. Like I said, I do it still to this day. I was speaking with Kendrick, and I know he goes through some sort of growth aspects where he's like, okay, and he's identifying things, and so I can only imagine somebody that's blindly going into something into leadership, or like I said, whether it's willing or not. I can only imagine the headache and the pressure, and then again on top of that, losing steps in your journey that you need to be walking through intentionally. So, when you say blindly, are you saying they're not familiar with this area? They could be familiar. Well, I'll say it in an aspect like this. It'd be like me 4 or 5 years ago wanting to be a media director, even though I was me wanting to be a media director, not having the knowledge of what I know now. Yeah. And me wanting to do that and lead a team, build systematically, all that stuff.
Okay. Do you think then that you can be a leader in a field without having knowledge within that field?
Yes and no. And let me answer them.
Okay, yeah. Because while you're saying, as I was saying, I was like, I don't know my answer, so I need time to think. So go ahead. I'm probably not gonna be listening. But go ahead.
So yes, I'll start with the no.
Yeah.
No, because you don't know what you're doing. Like, it's just as simple as that. I don't have the skill base to understand what I'm doing in order to take somebody and push them forward. I don't know what I'm pushing them forward to. So how can I lead somebody? How can I do that? So I say yes in the aspect of if I have someone helping me lead, co-leading or whatever, that knows the practical, that I can, because I don't have to, in order to lead somebody, I might not need to know it fully, but because a leader is pushing someone to get to that level. Right. So if I can emotionally and practically help you get to wherever you need to go, but I have someone here beside me that knows the practical part systematically, I feel like you can help lead in that area. And so yes, to a degree, you can be a leader to whatever aspect. If I've never set foot in a Sonic store, a Dollar General, a Walmart, can I lead those people to get the task done? Yes, I can, with the orientation, whatever the heck, like the people that have already been leads, helping me understand the systems and the breakdowns of who does what and why they do it. I can then take those people and help them figure out ways to push them to get their task done and all this other stuff. So on a practical level, no. On a emotional and support level, yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. Kind of. I agree, kind of, because I think if Okay, knowledge, not experience. Well, I guess same. I don't know, because I'm thinking like, okay, in a church,
Mm-hmm.
there is usually, I mean, correct me where I'm wrong. There's a person who creates church. There are elders that are tasked to equip, but say none of the elders are called to be a uh 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 evangelist.
Mm.
What do you teach? Like what do you teach? You have the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Or do you not have the
So
knowledge?
you're saying somebody pastoral? Is that what you're saying?
We'll not even go. No, we'll go the other extreme. I say the other extreme. We'll go someone who's prophetic, right?
Okay.
Those are kind of close. Apostolic.
Okay.
We'll go apostolic and evangelist, right?
So like an apostle and an
Yes.
evangelist.
Yeah. Sorry, whatever. Evangelist brings people in. Apostle creates something, drops it off, walks away, does the same thing over and over.
In lack of better term.
And
yes.
that's simple as it gets. How would an apostle
Mm-hmm.
lead an evangelist to do evangelical work, though they've never been in that area? They just know of it. Like, how does that work? Like, yeah, you could. I feel like you could point me north, east, southwest, but you can't say the roads.
I think that's part of what makes a good leader. That's literally just me just thinking off the top of my head right now. I think that's what makes a good leader is I'm able to identify that part in you. So I know I can't go out and lead
Yes.
like evangelistically. Is that a word? That sounds right.
I'm not an evangelical.
Yeah.
As an apostle, I'm not an evangelical.
Yeah.
So therefore,
yes,
I point to you.
I can look to you and be like, hey, I see this in you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to whatever you need. Like I can prepare you to go on wherever you need to go.
Right.
This and that. Like I just don't have that in me, so I am entrusting you. I think that's a good leader. A good leader can identify that in other people and help pull that out.
So then, how do you prepare someone for an area that you've never stepped into?
You need to be in relationship with other people. As me as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not an audio person,
Mm-hmm.
but I can lead a media team because I know audio people that can help
100%.
help me lead
Right.
in different areas. And so I think it's all about relationship. And I think that's all about what a good leader is I can see this in you and I don't have this in me, but I know people that can. So here, let me point you to them.
What a beautiful thing.
So,
There's no disagreement.
Yeah.
There might be some aspects where could add on to that, but I think it's difficult because I'm only thinking church, which is probably a very bad thing.
Yeah, I'm not. I've been thinking broadly.
But I don't view what corporate world is as healthy though. Not saying the church is healthy, but there is, I feel like if you went by the book or the framework that is depicted, then it could be healthy.
I think of it, or I look at it a little bit differently. I look at it as like, for example, Marvel's doing their thing.
Marvel. Oh, okay. Whoa. All right. I was not ready for this. All right.
Like they're doing their thing. Sony doing their thing.
Okay.
Columbia doing their thing. Like all these people, all these corporate people are doing, like these corporations are
functioning.
No. They're doing their thing. Not functioning is I'm here and I'm staying afloat. They're excelling. Like they're going up and up as far as corporate.
I when I say functioning, I mean their progression.
Okay,
I don't see it as like we're just maintaining.
Yeah. So that's why I hear, and if someone says functioning, I'm like, oh no, we're progressing. We're going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And so, so they're doing their thing.
DC.
No, they're
But
so
low
corporate.
key.
They're so corporate. Meanwhile, but even DC is doing their thing in comparison to what I'm about to say. Meanwhile,
Okay.
there's over 100 churches here in Claremore, Oklahoma, small town Claremore, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
There's smaller. There's Christian production companies that are not anywhere near that level.
Yeah.
But and so for us to separate and
Take your
be
time
like,
now.
yeah,
Take your time, dog. I feel it.
for us to literally be like, we're looking at them and like, I'll try to tread the line. I try to tread carefully.
Oh, you want me to do it?
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm cool with looking like the bad. So for us to look at the world as Christians and be like, hey man, don't be like that.
Facts.
But they have the healthy. I say
yeah,
healthy. They
yeah,
have
I see what you're saying,
they
yeah.
have a functioning model compared to
100%.
what we have.
100%.
Is it's self-reliant on people that don't even like themselves.
The intentionality to
I don't know.
systems, the intentionality to vision,
Yeah.
the intentionality to all of it is
All
all of that. Like Marvel is walking out things that Stan Lee had seen. Like he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, and they're walking those things out
Yeah.
and propel, like they're going forward and like all this, like that's what I'm saying. Versus a Christian establishment, like I said, over 100 churches here, only just in Claremore, Oklahoma, and we're struggling to do media productions, just streaming.
Oh, whoa. Okay, whoa. Whoa. I think you just intertwined two things at once.
Did I?
You said media productions and then you said streaming. And I'm only hearing you. Because I don't know any other place that does streaming besides the church that we know of. And then video productions isn't what you do.
I was just comparing systematically
Okay.
in general. And then speaking broadly on the church, whoever is doing any kind of media any production, any street, like anything. I'm talking about production and stuff in general. Like systematically, forget the work behind it. I'm talking about the systems behind it. I forgot how we even got on that on this topic.
Went from premature leadership to I was hoping you'd jump in.
No tag team in here.
that-
I
like
told
that.
you it's hot. I think I'm drawing a little sweat.
I don't know. I said something along the lines of anyways.
Yeah, because then we then we started talking about God bless it, man.
I have the worst memory, so
Yeah,
I'm not the one to
yeah.
ask. I can make some stuff up. We were talking about how Elmo.
No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Anyways, so yeah, because you were talking about something about the corporate world
Okay.
having, or the church having better systems than the corporate world, or the world
Oh no,
having
I just
better,
said it had a healthier model.
healthier model, and you
Yeah.
said the church did.
It can. I don't feel
Now-
like I've seen it.
Now I think the church has a better foundation.
Ooh. I don't know, because transformation got it.
Yeah, I mean there are churches like that. That's what I'm saying.
But
like,
then you look at those, you look at Christian people, look at those churches, and they're like, nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They're
saying,
like,
man. And that bugs me because I'm just like, why? If we're supposed to be doing all things in excellence, why are you? Okay,
Yeah, let's want to take a break.
if,
Intermission.
if I am
Yeah.
if I am streaming anyways on a dang cell phone and I'm preaching the gospel,
Oh,
why
Sounds
not go full fledged and give everything you have in that area and create something that is pleasing to people's eye in excellence for the kingdom, not to be boastful and to raise yourself up on this pedestal, but in excellence because you are representing the kingdom of God when the kingdom of hell is being represented very well.
Very well.
And so why can't we just send
All them lying portfolios. But hey, they're getting the
all
job
the
done.
dang lying portfolios.
They're
and
getting the job
resumes. But yeah, and so it's just weird.
done.
It's just weird. So I think I agree if we would change that to the church has a better foundation, but I think corporate world has a better systematic function.
Yeah, okay. I guess this also plays a part into it. The world doesn't care about your lifestyle, whereas people within the faith, that's the primary thing. They can care less about the product that you produce.
Yeah.
But if your lifestyle is dog,
Yeah.
then like, which I get.
Yeah. 100%.
But
100%. Yeah.
let's not neglect the call. Let's not like both can be true. You can be really good at what you do and have a bad lifestyle. But if just because he has a bad lifestyle doesn't mean the things that he does aren't necessary or needed or quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, he can grow in this. That's how the world does it.
Yeah.
As long as this dude is doing what he's doing, kudos. We're making a whole bunch of money. We're flowing. We're functioning. We're what's the word that you used? Progressing, elevating, whatever. The church is like, if your life isn't good, I say the church. Religious people will say, if your life isn't good, you need to step back, pull away, let go of all the things that God has gifted you, and just focus on your life. Let go. Let go, let God. It's like, well, I think both can happen at the same time. If I am correct.
Yeah, no.
I'll raise my hand and say, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's a weird dynamic. I think that
it's like I get both sides.
Yeah, I think from the body's standpoint, people that we're in relationship with in the body, I think the viewpoint is.
I'm mainly talking outside of them.
Okay.
I said religious people.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think ideally what should take place then, I'll say it like that. Ideally what should take place is if I again, like we were saying earlier, I recognize this in you. I recognize this gift in you. And if you are not at a place in your walk or journey or whatever, you might not saying neglect. Do not neglect that, but there are other priorities. So like
100%.
I was about to say something else. But we'll talk. Well, that'll probably be a whole nother podcast, especially with. It's a whole nother podcast with Dan. We'll probably get Dan on here and talk about that. But anyways, getting
your Fijis. I don't know. You said them prioritizing certain things.
Yeah, so I think prioritizing things. So again, like I said, not literally saying, "Hey, put that away." There are priorities that I need to take place. So like holiness, righteousness, like all this stuff needs. Like, is my heart right? Like, what are my intentions? Like, not saying neglect your creative gift, but saying, okay, instead of me focusing on my creative gift, I need to start searching my heart. Where are we at? Where am I at? And all this other stuff. And once you get a grasp on, okay, I've identified this in me. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Working on whatever it is or being intentional in whatever that is. And then genuinely growing and walking with a group of people. That's how I feel like it should be. Where religious people will 100% straight up be like, you're wearing a hat, get out of here. It's been said to me, like, you're wearing a hat, take that hat off, have some respect. Was I talking to you about that?
Yeah.
That's my light on top of the thing went out. It's just one of those days
today.
Plus we're almost 2 hours, an hour and 30 minutes in anyway.
We're actually 1 hour and 10 minutes in.
Oh, okay. So we're right there along the lines of normally where we are.
But all of the stuff that you said brings me back to the premature leadership.
Okay.
Like now that's a different aspect that you have to think of.
Yeah.
Like, can they function as a leader with those things? I mean, I have seen leaders or people put in leadership positions, what I would say is prematurely. I mean, God does what God does.
Yeah, man. I think
And
it's all in
people
God's
get hurt.
timing. I think it's all in God's timing, and the hurt people part, especially when whenever you are not being attentive to whatever is being
100%.
whatever's moving and all that other stuff. Like if you're not being attentive, yes, people can get hurt. You yourself can get hurt.
Yes.
Like that whole situation. So yes, I think that is a negative light in that. But again, I think if you are being intentional and listening to God, I think sometimes He puts you in those situations, like David,
100%.
with Goliath. Like I think that there's just times that you're just thrown into those situations to where it's like, oh yeah, I'm here. I can do that. I have that gift. I mean, I've never done it before, but I'm here if you need me. And then those people having and needing to rely on that in those moments. I can throw this rock and smack Goliath in the head with it, cut his head off.
I'm going to keep it a bean. I don't think that's a good analogy.
I love that analogy.
Well, I mean, he's practiced doing it. Whether it would kill him or
Okay,
not.
I was talking in aspects of leading a people into it.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't talking about practicing.
That's my opinion. Count my opinion.
You could have your opinion.
What a day.
It's been one of them days.
You got anything else?
You have any big questions to close this out? Okay. All right. Let me get this song ready.
You know what I mean? Do I have any big questions to close this out? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
A question?
Yeah.
That
Our last comments that can last maybe a 5-minute conversation.
Oh, yes.
Is that?
Yeah, it's him tap dancing again.
he's in there tap dancing. I was like, what is that?
For Danger Zone, did you know that there are 2 forms to which you can apply a vocal performance? There's ADR, which is dubbing, but that is the voice actor is timing their voice to what they see on the screen.
Oh.
Which I think would be the most difficult thing.
Yeah, 100% would be.
But I guess that's what is done. Like there's two main ones. So ADR is that one, and then the other one is syncing the animation that are happening to the voice that's already been recorded.
I never even thought about that.
Both seem very difficult in their own way, but I feel like it depends on the voice actor. Yeah. Like if it's a high quality. Oh, and there's also a talent agency for voice actors. Don't know if you knew that. I do.
I do.
Yeah, that was the last thing that I learned, and I was like, oh my God, this applies to this. This applies to this. This applies to this. I'm gonna show Darius this instead of us going to Fiverr, or you can stay on Fiverr. I don't know.
No, show me that. I think that would be
because then there's also union and ununionized workers within that, and so I don't know how that plays a role. Yeah. But then the question for me is like, if they don't live in Oklahoma, if they're not in the Tulsa, Green Country area, how do we even get their audio?
Well, I would assume they would like send the audio files to you, and you could adjust the audio however you need to adjust it. But I know a lot of that, like the actual mics and stuff, and how they are recording it goes into it. But I do know that voice actors, there are a lot of remote voice actors that have their own studio and produce out of that and send you the work for you to edit after that. And so I do know that. So
yeah, I'm very curious as to how that plays out. But what's the song you got?
It's just the same song.
I thought you said you were going to switch it up.
I did. I was going to, but I couldn't think.
You just got to play any song. You can play Gabe's song, Dontre.
Here's what's even worse. Oh, there it is. All right, y'all.
It's been a mess.
It's been a mess. Been a train wreck. We'll catch y'all later, though.
Yes,
I'm under pressure, and I know that I can't take no more. I'm steady stressing, trying to give out all that I can pour. I know you need me in your life, but I can see you're sore. I'm ready to jump ship, but I'll leave that up to last resort. I'm under pressure, and I know that I can't take no more. I'm steady stressing, trying to give out all that I can pour. I know you need me in your life, but I can see you're sore. I'm ready to jump ship, but I'll leave that up to last resort. I want you now, but I know that feeling won't last forever. Really trying to fight back, but my mind is changing like the matter. I know this feeling is real, just like the day I met you. But I know that leads to let down, so I'll just catch you.